Thank you, sir. The vision that you have laid out is truly inspiring. For the next session, which is a panel on empowering energy and utilities, followed by a panel on digital resilience for power PSUs, I now invite Mr. Vineet Mishra, Director, Technology Consulting, Ernst & Young. Over to you, Vineet, to commence the panels and introduce the panelists.
Yeah, thank you. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are across the globe. So, welcome to Digital Governance Cloud and AI Summit, and this panel is specifically around discussion on empowering energy and utilities. So, I'll just take a couple of minutes to just set the context that how the sector is transforming. So, Indian power sector started its journey for transformation in 2010-11 largely with the intervention of RAP-DRP scheme. So this scheme largely gives basic IT infrastructure to discoms and key business applications like metering, billing, collection, GIS, AMR kind of applications. So that was a first ladder where distribution utility started the digital transformation. Then subsequently, smart grid pilots in 2012-13, and it went on almost 4 years, 14 pilots. India have done 14 pilots of smart grid, smart metering with the help of Power Grid. Power Grid was a nodal agency under this. And we have recently seen that our Honorable Power Minister communicated that 250 million smart meter rollout across India is a vision in next 3 to 5 years. On top of that, now utilities are talking about advanced digital solutions, which is analytics, chatbot, cloud adoption, modern workplace. So these kind of things are taking shape. And yes, COVID also, it was a pandemic, but yes, it absolutely changed the mindset of the utility because they need to consider business continuity and customer satisfaction aspects. So I largely see all these digital transformation initiatives largely are running around three basic business drivers. First is financial health improvement or cost optimization of the utilities and specifically discoms. We have seen a number of news or articles in the recent past that discom needs to work around their financial health improvement. So they need to bring the technology like asset performance management or predictive maintenance, which will reduce the cost in terms of their maintenance aspect. Second most important thing that 70 to 80% cost is power procurement cost, where utilities now trying to leverage the real-time market with the help of power procurement optimization kind of tools. The second pillar, important pillar, which is customer satisfaction. Discom is an environment in B2C environment as compared to Genco or Transco. They are largely in B2B environment. So customer satisfaction is playing a big role, and to and address this particular initiative or this particular ask, utilities now adopting smart metering, digital payment. We have heard recent past that some utilities are almost sitting on 90 to 95% digital payment collections in this COVID environment, mobile application for customer satisfaction per se. And third and most important pillar is employee safety. So we have seen under COVID, employee safety was paramount ask of any utility. So utilities now adopting modern workplace, smart engineer, smart workplace solution. So these things are changing the trend of the market and changing entire dynamics of the utilities. So I would appreciate the views of the panelists. So right now we are having Mr. Muniraju from MD HESCOM. We have Mr. Garpale, MD MP Madhya Kshetra. We have Mr. Satyaprakash, so MD HVPN, Mr. Venu Kumar, CMD Punjab, Mr. Navtej Val, Executive Director Microsoft, and Mr. Gadkari, Executive Director Billing and Revenue from MSEDCL. So with this, I'll just start my discussion with Mr. Muniraju. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, so sir, we have seen that in recent past, I would like to see your views specifically what's happening in Karnataka. We have seen in recent past that utilities are moving towards one billing platform. So I'm coming to a very specific intervention, which is utilities now seeing under RAP-DRP. We have seen urban areas adopted one billing system and rural areas were on incumbent or conventional billing system. So what all are your views around this unified billing system and how cloud is playing a very important role? Because wherever this unified billing system is coming in the picture, utilities are trying to come out of their incumbent infrastructure. So they are opting cloud options. So what all are your views, sir? Over to you, Mr. Muniraju.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, and thanks for inviting me as a keynote speaker for this conference. See, we here in Karnataka, we have already through RPDRP, we have implemented many of the solutions. Actually, ours is the second largest electricity distribution company in Karnataka. It serves close to 50 lakh consumers. Okay, spread across 7 districts. See, out of these 7 districts, as you said, we have already implemented the metering one platform metering system in cities. Whereas in rural areas also we have already started through total revenue management system. So that is why we have adopted all the technology in the billing system. That is why we want to bring all other rural areas also into the one billing system. Now, even total revenue management system also we are generating a lot of data. Only thing is with this implementation of this artificial intelligence, bringing artificial intelligence into the system, we would be able to utilize this large data from the rural areas. I mean, the rural belt, particularly ours is majorly agriculture intensive area. We are supplying more than 60% of the consumers. More than the 60% of the consumption goes directly to the agricultural area, rural area. There's one billing system across the company. So that is why our opinion is to get the support. They get the support, utilize the technology to the maximum extent. We are after achieving so many IT milestones and usability out of these systems. Going in future, ESCOM intends to use the generated and available data. A huge stream of data is generated daily by RPDRP system as well as TRM, that is Total Revenue Management System. So we don't find any difference here. But the only thing is, we have engaged Infosys in Karnataka for implementing this system. So we as a part of next stage, we are integrating the other rural part also into the system. Now trying to integrate. We have already interested, and now we want to integrate and get the one platform. So apart from this, there are a lot of unstructured data, electronic data is also available with us. See, with the introduction of this artificial intelligence and what is it? Yeah. See, we should be able to take forward in the future also. The best results come if artificial intelligence is used to shift the demand of power by combining the consumer makes rural and urban demand, time of the day consumption data and information. Almost every distribution company has a peak of morning and evening. Also, there is a season peak. See, artificial intelligence is come as a good supporting decision-making tool for pricing the power consumption at different price at different time, not only in the day but also seasonally. Our available data can be combined with meteorological data to predict high summer temperatures when energy demand is very high. Now, smart metering technology, if combined with prepaid meters, can help a lot in implementing this time of the day metering. And artificial intelligence based computer programs can do it almost on hour basis. But also these algorithms can tell different can give different charges for urban as well as rural area. These algorithms has fairness built in, so they are also acceptable to our regulators. This will also help in reducing the thermal component, which in turn will save fossil fuels and hence making our place more sustainable. This is definitely true for ESCOM as well as any other distribution companies in the country. ESCOM also more than 270 local offices, that is based in rural areas. Particularly, the section officers form core of our working. This is the primary place where the action is repairing lines, fixing transformers, creating new assets. These offices are spread across rural and urban areas equally. Thankfully, due to availability of telecom networks and nowadays the OFC system, our all section offices have network connectivity. To give a real customer value, availability of these data as well as applications running on top of this data at section offices are very crucial for us. Traditionally, this will require a huge array of hardware besides software applications to be set up. The whole issue arises that IT adoptions are slow and hardware gets obsolete at a very faster rate. So by the time ESCOM workforce comes to a level to use IT applications, the hardware itself already becomes obsolete and requires refresh. Solving this issue with keeping the cost of IT in control, cloud-based solutions are the only viable and long-term solutions. Cloud-based technology has been matured and they are in use in very high-scale applications like in India, particularly the example, the other electronic system. This will also give us the ability to expand cloud as more consumers gets added in future. Indian economy in next 5 years is expected to grow at a rate of $5 trillion US, and a lot of industrial and commercial units will come, and hence adding more consumers and connections to the network. Also, using artificial intelligence based systems would help us to predict where our future asset augmentation will be required, and will help us in the better planning of the system. As usual, ESCOM is well prepared to lead all the other companies in this area. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. So you have touched very specific points related to sector, and I would like to highlight specifically 3 pointers which we have touched. One is about artificial intelligence. Yes, it's going to play a big role where we are talking about 15 minutes market in terms of generation demand requirement, and smart metering will be the foundation stone in terms of, because smart metering is capturing the data of each and every consumer at 15 minutes interval. So that will serve the purpose. And third and important point, which you have rightly said, that utilities or specifically discoms are not keen to put capex upfront for their hardware, because we have seen in past in RAP utility spent a huge amount of money on DR creation, But if I recall properly, even utilities are not able to utilize that once in last 10 years. So putting crores of rupees on DR and not utilizing, now giving time, it's a time to give it thought around whether we need on-prem solution, on-prem hardwares or backend hardwares, or we need to move on cloud. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. So now I would like to move our second panelist, Mr. Garpale, MD Madhyachit, MP Madhyachit. Sir, good morning. So we all know that MP has been a flag bearer in terms of technology adoption. So be it smart metering, successful implementation of RF technology in Indore, sorry, and subsequently you are developing your in-house billing system, which absolutely a new thought in the market, where MP Discom is coming with their own billing system, and it has already been implemented at some places. And on top of that, you are putting your own in-house analytical platform. So with this, I would like to seek your views around how these technologies like artificial intelligence or modern workplaces are giving operational efficiency aspects to discoms. And secondly, we have seen the traction in MP Discom that they are moving their on-prem application on cloud now. So what all are views around these data points, sir? Over to you, Mr. Garple.
Okay, first I would like to tell you what we are doing. As you have already told that we are migrating in our own billing system. So we have developed an in-house billing system. So we have migrated entire urban area as well as major towns of our company. Now only rural area is left for migration. So even HT billing has been is being done on the same platform. Earlier we were using a software of a private company, so now we have migrated. Then during this COVID period, we learned that now we'll have to wind up many manual things and we'll have to go to artificial intelligence platform or some machine learning tools. So immediately we started a WhatsApp chatbot for bill disbursements and complaint redressal and other things. So now we are moving towards voice bots because lots of customer care executive have found COVID positive during the lockdown and after the lockdown. So we could not stop our call center. So immediately we floated tender for an AI-based call center where we will be able to do handle calls without the manual interference. We started IBRS facility few months ago, but now we are moving towards AI. So within 1 or 2 months, we'll be able to launch it. If any customer is not satisfied with the IVRS or AI based call center, then we'll divert his call or her call to the manual this thing. So we have started since January 2020 an artificial intelligence based vigilance app. So it's a mobile vigilance app. Look, I would like to tell you that discoms are having lots of data, but we don't have a good analytical tool. So what we need is analysis of this data so that minimum efforts and maximum output can be done, can be achieved. So we have started this vigilance app. So now we are getting priorities on the vigilance checking through this AI based app. So now we, if our team go
I think Mr. Gurple, some connectivity issue.
For demand forecasting, which is again of a private company. Now I have seen some of the presentation, including Microsoft also. So now we are planning to have an advanced tool, either AI based or a machine learning, where we can better forecast our demand. So now we are migrating towards this also. We are getting developed a meter data management software. It's a cloud-based software. I would like to tell you that I would like to tell you proudly that we have our own data center and we are hosting each and every application or a portal in our data center only. We recently upgraded our data center with the help of IPTS scheme. So I think for few more years we'll be able to host entire application and data in our data center only. Then we'll shift to the cloud. But for voice bots and for MDM, we have a provision in our tender document that if our data center doesn't cater the requirement of the applications, then we'll move towards the cloud and we'll pay the charges for the cloud services. Now, each and every application is being developed by our in-house team. We have a very smart, very good, and very expert team of software engineers who are developing each and every application, portals, or a mobile app by their own. But now we are exploring private applications also, so that we can buy them and we can enhance our capacity, because we have a limited team and there are lots of initiatives are going on. So we have a requirement so that we can buy ready-made tools, and which our software programming team can directly use it. We have started e-office system of NIC in our company, because after COVID it was very difficult to operate in the field, because we have a lots of exposure towards public. So and we wanted to stop a file movement, so we started e-office system up to the circle, we call a district circle, up to the district level. So now there is no paperwork in our company. We have few systems for substation monitoring. We have meter data acquisition system in all our feeders. We have SCADA in major cities. And now we are implementing RTDAS and SSDAS for the substation monitoring. So real-time monitoring is being done. We are using a Power BI tool for analyzing each and every data, whether it is for supply or commercial data or HR data or any financial data. So we have a real-time dashboard where we can monitor each and everything. We are moving towards smart metering also. For that, we are exploring HES, and we already had a provision in our MDM tender that if we have the smart meter, that HES should be compatible with the MDM also. So very soon we'll have smart meters in our state. Indore city has already around 2 lakh smart meter in our state. But now we are planning for each and every RAP DRP towns. So each RAP DRP town of Madhya Pradesh will have smart meter very soon. But since I have got this platform, I would like to also request through this platform that in power sector we don't have any uniform protocols. Each and every meter manufacturer will have his own protocol. So if we buy any modem, if we buy any software, so we'll have to study, we'll have to explore that manufacturer's protocol, then it will not be compatible with the other modem. So lots of programming and time killing is being done. So this sector should also think that each and every hardware or software should have a protocol which can be compatible with each other. Now manufacturer have their own protocol, their own monopoly. So we should now get rid of this thing. So we since everything is having standardization of each and every protocol, so this power sector should also have this thing. I was reading your email just now that you are also speaking about drones in this power sector. I have been exploring for about 3 or 4 months about drone technologies. We have sent emails to many of the drone players in India. We wanted to see what drone technology can do for the discoms. After 2 or 3 months, I got a response from a drone company of Mumbai. They showed us a presentation. We saw it, but it was only for the transport transmission work. I wanted to do if it can be helpful for us for maintenance work or survey work, but it was especially for transmission work. So we are still exploring that whether there is a drone technology available in India which can help in discoms operation, not for transmission company. We are doing meter reading with various tools and various technology, but we haven't found any uniform or a good technology where meter reading can be done with a single operation. We have our in-house mobile app through which we are doing meter reading. We have some protocols for that. We have some remote reading also. We have some photo-based reading also. But we are exploring OCR also. So in India, we are exploring for 4 or 5 months for any OCR technology, but we are unable to find it. So still we want to move ahead with the technology, but private players should also come forward as per requirement of the company. Lots of data is there. Protocol sharing is being done. Like my personal experience is that we have bought license of a particular company. Now licenses are to expire for after a few years. Now they have a monopoly in licenses. Our entire data
Audio issue. Connectivity problem.
now we have to whether we'll be able to start to another plate.
So I think we have some challenge at Sikarpale side. Sir, I think there's some internet issue at your side. So we could not hear you in your last statements. So yes, so with the time challenge also. So I'm just it was a fantastic journey, and I conveyed that MP always be a flag bearer in technology adoption across all discoms in India. And as you very rightly said, now you are moving toward voice bots rather than chatbots, which you have implemented. But three major points which you have highlighted. Number one is the protocol per se. Yes, Ministry is trying to do a lot. Its CEA has already published some standard protocols for smart metering. Meters protocol being published around way back 6-7 years back, DLMS protocol. So things are being done yet, but still we need to travel a long way around, but that's a challenge. That's why you have very rightly said that you are creating your own in-house MDM. So whosoever needs to come out to play smart metering, they need to bring their HES and meter compatibility and need to integrate with your system rather than you are dependent on any particular OEM itself. Second point I would like to highlight around drones technology, sir. We'll share you some more insights that drone. Yes, transcos or gencos are largely using drone, but yes, discoms are also exploring that option. So it may be utilized somewhat around your substation where you are erecting substations. So substation is a classic use case for drone monitoring per se. So we'll share more detail offline with you. And last point which you have talked about OCR, yes, that's a challenge. Even in COVID environment, a lot of initiative were adopted by various discoms, but standard OCR solution is not available in the market, and a lot of customer resistance came in one particular discom. I would not be able to quote the name. They tried to implement OCR, but reading was not proper. A lot of customer resistance came. Last point where I'll seek input from Navtej in the closing part of this session, where, sir, you have rightly said that most of the application you are developing. So utility is coming from their own forte to developing the application in-house. It's a good thing also that interoperability aspect. But yes, there are certain tools which even we are using in-house or other discoms are using, like Power Apps kind of thing, where you need not require hard code coder to develop those applications. You need to leverage the platform, and it's very easy to customize to create or develop some new applications. So that I will not cover it. Then Navtej will give more insights around this. So with this, thank you, sir. Thanks for your views. You extended your views. So now I would like to move to Navtej. So Navtej, want to hear from you that MS is touching all these major pointers been highlighted by Mr. Muni Raju, Mr. Garple, that in terms of cloud adoption, we have seen that in terms of modern workplace, and I personally feel in the market that utilities or discoms are paying their gratitude to MS, that they came with the offer that 6 months you need to use MS Teams, and that's pretty much required in COVID environment on humanitarian aspect. And that's a fantastic initiative by Microsoft. So what all are views in terms of digital transformation happening in the sector and where MS is coming in the picture to support them? Over to you, Navdeep.
Sure. No, thanks, Vinny. I will actually address some of the questions directly, but first let me just talk a little bit about how we see the energy sector changing, right? I think there are some very interesting trends. I think this whole mix of renewables, right? The way peak demand comes, the way the demand, the timing of peak demand, and the way, by the way, there is a lumpiness in consumer behavior, right? We are beginning to see much more of this, right? And power sector, by the way, from a very centralized model has also become reasonably decentralized. And generally, we all talk about the grid in a very linear fashion, right? And now we are talking about transitioning grid, with energy exchange at the center, multiple sources, smart meters, energy storage, flexi grids, right? Now, all of this, has its own share of challenges which come. So the challenges are around instability, okay? Periodic congestion, very volatile markets when it comes to power pricing, lots of data being generated, but nobody being sure about what to do with it and how to use it. We talked about protocols not being uniform, and thus, by the way, you have a patchwork of solutions coming up, right? And also, by the way, security continues to be important because the more connected you are, the more you actually are exposing your endpoints to security issues, right? So these, by the way, challenges we see. Now, in the middle of this, by the way, is a pretty important tool. So, for example, on renewables, there's a lot you can do to improve forecasting errors based on weather, right? You can actually do a lot on on virtual power plant operations to actually make sure that the committed power is getting generated. When it comes to grid modernization, all the investment you make in sensors, devices, data coming out actually then allows you to, by the way, figure out how to plan demand and supply in a much better fashion, right? There's a lot, by the way, you can do on the sustainability side because you can actually cut down losses and ensure that you know where the leakages are. And then finally, by the way, what digital has also given rise to is new customer expectations. So the customers do want actually a much more simpler way to interact with utilities. Utilities, I think, have a big opportunity that they're in touch with a large customer base, which they control directly. And that, by the way, if not today, over a period of time, will get monetized. And services will get provided through the utility, through the utility network. So now, in all of this, what we see is that there are trends in which utilities are trying to do a lot of stuff themselves. Right. And, it is, by the way, great. India is a place which has many engineers. Lots of people can actually construct apps and all that. So, what we would urge the utilities to do and the sector to do is to think through, technologies which are already available. So, for example, when Mr. Garpale was talking about his own data center, there is a lot you can do to bring AI intelligence into their data center without the data going out. So you can actually just put a small Azure box, Azure hub, and you can actually get all the Microsoft cognitive services onto the data center, right? Similarly, we mentioned about Power Apps. There's a lot you can do to enable your own people to do. So from my side, I think the priority at this moment is to partner with a set of leading utilities and work with them through what are the right POCs we can help construct, proof of concept, which, by the way, then can become the industry standard, which can get rolled out across the board. So what you will see from our side, Vineet, is some sort of energy architecture for India coming out, which, by the way, talks right from where you have data with all the plumbing to, by the way, the end customer apps and applications. And this is almost like a uniform energy architecture we are trying to construct. And then when we work with individual utilities to get part of it alive. So I would only urge them to, by the way, if we have to do something, for example, on this OCR, right? There's a lot you can do with some of our cognitive services in Azure to do that. And I think what the utilities have to be is very clear around what data should reside internally, what data can go out, what is the protocol of security around it, so that when they scale it up, they can get the benefit of technology on one side, and they can ensure data security and other security related issues on the other side. So anyway, so that's our plan. I think this is anyway just a start of a dialogue. And it's good to hear what my co-panelists had to say here, both Mr. Muniraju and Garpale, about their issues. I think we will have a more deeper dialogue. And that, by the way, you will see actually coming out as POCs from Microsoft to help them on their journey, right?
Thanks, Natish. Yeah, really, and it would be I would say it's a need of our that energy architecture for in pan India level itself. So that is pretty much required because, as rightly said by Mr. Garble, that individual, even utilities working in utility, different departments are working in silos. So we need to come out of that and need to explore the available technologies in the market. And I'm pretty much in. And one important point, yes, probably in the discussion which you have also touched, probably we could not touch the point of security aspect. So yes, individual data centers are catering the requirement, but we need to understand the importance of national infrastructure aspects. For now, we are moving toward mega OT initiatives like smart metering, SCADA kind of things. So we need to consider that point also when we are adopting these technology. That yes, security is going to be one of the key important factors when we are finalizing our technology, our solution stack, or cloud versus on-prem solution.
Yeah, so Vineet, I would just add one minor thing to what you're saying.
Yeah, please.
If I was to look at a typical utility, there is so much they have to do from a customer perspective.